What's up guys, ndn here. Now it's going to be my 5.4 elemental guide. I'm not going to be doing this like my other or my 5.3 guide where I have every single thing in one video. I'm going to be spacing things out with this way I can bring out more footage faster too. And also, I don't know, I'll see if people like this better or not. Just leave in the comments if you prefer everything in one video or if you like it in chunks. But this is going to consist of talents and glyphs, macros, and add-ons. Now, I wanted to get out one thing. A lot of people, or there's some speculation saying that Elemental isn't as strong as it was last patch. That's completely false. Now, the reason some people feel like they're not doing as much damage or something, or they feel like damage is nerfed for some reason, it's not Elemental getting nerfed. It's everyone getting nerfed. People have like 75% resilience right now. It's insane. Like I have 74.31% resilience. Depending on what you're going with, I mean, people have extreme amounts of resilience right now. Like if you have the PvP meta gem and stuff like that. So I mean, there are a lot of people with 75% resilience right now, and that's the reason why people are doing less damage. So with full gear, Elemental is amazing. It's much stronger than it was last patch as of now. There have been 0 nerfs to Elemental. So, and the buff for off healing, basically what changed from last patch to this patch is that Elemental now has more off healing, thanks to rushing streams and healing tide and stuff like that. So Elemental is looking amazing. So I just wanted to get that out there. And for stat priority, you're still going to be going, like, I personally still like to go with haste. It's like, so basically hit cap, then intellect, and haste, and then PvP power and mastery after that if you're looking for gemming. Now, why do I go with PvP power or mastery? Because I feel like you're gonna have enough, like, to the point where it's just for gemming, literally, where after on the blue sockets you're gonna have intellect and PvP power. So you're never gonna be gemming mastery anywhere. So that was just for gemming. So mainly it's gonna be like haste is gonna be your priority. There are some people that are going with crit, or they're saying that crit is gonna be the new OP thing because of Ele Blast. I haven't tested this out, but I don't think crit will be better than Ele Blast, but I'll check that out later and come back to you guys with that. But as of now, I'm going full haste and I'm loving it. Like, it's doing so amazing. And make sure to still be using flame tongue weapon, nothing else. I mean, unless you have special situations and stuff, but for the most part you're going to be using flame tongue weapon. And so hopefully this guide helps you out, and I will be coming out with my rotations and everything else and a lot more other stuff later on. So enjoy. Alright, so for the talents for Elemental for 5.4, we're still going to go with Nature's Guardian, which is still my personal favorite. Every time you go under 30% health, you gain 25% of your maximum health. So I still think this is the best. Stormborg Totem. This could be nice for 1v1s or like BGs or something, depending on what you're doing. But for now, I'm sticking with Nature's Guardian. And for level 30 talents, hands down, I like Earth Grab the best as Elemental. I mean, some people, I mean, you can go Windwalk Totem against certain classes, especially like Boomkins or something, or even mages. And there's a few people that like to use Frozen Power for things like thundering someone and rooting someone back there or something like that. So you can go either way, but my personal favorite is Earth Grab Totem. The AoE root is just awesome. And level 45 talents, I think, like, hands down, Totemic Projections is the best way to go now, which relocates whatever totem you put down to a certain different spot. So, especially since Totemic Restoration is no more. So this is definitely the way to go right now. And level 60, okay, I'm sorry, let me back up a little bit. You can go into Call of Elements, which is still nice, or you can Tremor Totem and then use the ability to or use Grounding, Tremor, like Healing Stream, all that stuff, and then use that Call of Elements, then you get all of them back. So for fights where you know aren't going to be that long or something, you need those like Tremors and stuff like that, like constantly back to back, this can be really nice. So don't take this out of the picture. You could use this. I have used this in a couple of matches, so this is pretty good. But for the most part, I do like Totemic Projections. And Persistence, I mean, you can summon, you basically summon a second totem of, like, so let's say I take this talent. So what that means is I can summon a Capacitor Totem and a Grounding Totem at the same time, and it won't cancel the other one out. So I have whatever, and I can summon my Stormblast Totem and I have grounding down, or it's gone now. Okay, well, let's look at a better example. I have fire or earth Ele totem, and I have tremor out too. So I have both out at the same time. So that's basically what this does. So it can be nice, but I still don't think it's better than tonic projections in my opinion. So I'm going to be going with tonic projections for sure. And then after that, level 60 talents, echo the elements. Even though a lot of people are saying this got nerfed and stuff, it got nerfed to the point where you can't activate more than once every 4 seconds. It almost always never did before anyways. I mean, yeah, you did get that random RNG where like everything just hit an echo, and that was just amazing. But honestly, I still like echo the elements the best. It's really nice. And then you can go into ancestral swiftness, especially against like Resto Shamans or Resto Druids, where you know you're gonna have a hard time getting hexes out or something, or their teams just really go. Or you need like those instant hexes on cross CCs. So ancestral swiftness is still nice. I mean, plus the 5% passive haste bonus doesn't hurt. And elemental mastery for those just you know you're just gonna one-shot someone in your ascendance or something. Like that's basically what you're there for. Then you can go elemental mastery, but my personal favorite is still echo the elements. And then for level 75 talents, now healing tide got replaced by healing streams. So healing tide is baseline now, and rushing streams is just amazing for elemental. Like for enhancement, like this was ticking for about 12Ks for me, and as elemental it's ticking for about 20K. And inside arenas, I mean that's on 2 people. So rushing streams is amazing for elemental. And then ancestral guidance is nice too, but I just feel like, I mean, ancestral guidance wasn't the most viable as elemental last in 5.3 either. So now rushing streams is just hands down my favorite. Like I'm doing ridiculous amounts of healing throughout the arena match with rushing streams, and just counter out dot pressure and stuff. It's really nice. So highly recommend rushing streams for level 75 talents as elemental. And then for level 90, you have 2 options. Technically you have 3, but I'll talk about the third in a little bit. My personal favorite is Elemental Blast. This thing hits like a truck. I will show you some clips of this later on in my I'll be putting out a rotation guide for Elemental after this one, and I'll show you some clips of why I like Elemental Blast. But basically this is still hitting like a truck, and I mean I've always used Elemental Blast, and the mini burst rotation with Elemental Blast is just insane. So highly recommend Elemental Blast for level 90 talents. And then for places where you know you're gonna have a hard time juking or getting off an Elemental Blast, like you know you're gonna have a hard time, you can still go Unleash Fury. And Unleash Fury actually got buffed, so that now when you have Flame Tongue Weapon, your lightning bolt actually does 30% more damage instead of 20%. So this did get buffed, so it is still really nice. So I mean, this is still gonna do a lot of damage. This is just more burst in my preference. So overall damage and burst right here. And now for Primal Elementalist, this is one talent that I like to use sometimes in 2s matches especially, or against triple DPS. And the reason being is that when you know, like, or when I say triple 2s matches, if you do some 2s, it's against double DPS, where you know you're facing like a comp like Hunter or Rogue or something, where you like almost positive you're going to be trying to survive and just cast heals or like CC and stuff most of the game. This is really nice because Primal Elementalist still does a ridiculous amount of damage even as Elemental, as Ele, with your Fire Ele. So I would recommend someone to try it out if you're going to be doing like some 2s or something like that, or just even in a duel honestly against a melee DPS. I mean, it'll definitely be worth it. You'll see the difference. So try that out. That's pretty much it for the talents for Elemental. And then now for the glyphs. Glyph of Lightning Shield, hands down, you need that. It's gonna, I mean, that's almost like baseline for every like DPS shaman out there. It's basically gonna reduce your damage taken by 10% all the time. And then these 2 glyphs can change depending on whatever comp you're facing. So you have Glyph of Cap Totem, which reduces your Cap Totem's charging by 2 seconds, so it makes it a 3-second charge time, which is really nice. And then the Glyph of Shamanistic Rage, which takes away all harmful magical effects. Now, thing is about 5.4, they went back to the way it used to work, where now if you take away Unstable Affliction or Vampiric Touch, it still gives you the debuff and the damage taken from those proccing the debuff or dispelling the debuff. So Shamanistic Rage is only good against, like, if you're in an arena match, it's only good against mages, or you know you're gonna have like trouble with a paladin like hodging you or something. But other than that, I don't recommend Shamanistic Rage against like any other team but mages. So definitely, I mean, do not take this against unstable or UA warlocks or shadow priests. I mean, you can. It just depends on how you're gonna do it, because you can like use that use the glyph, use Shaman Rage, and just LOS and not get dotted again. But situational, I just wouldn't recommend it. And the other glyphs that I would go with as elemental would be the glyph of Hex right here. Reduces the cooldown of your Hex spell by 10 seconds. I love this glyph right here. Use it in almost all my matches depending on what comp I'm playing. So I replace those glyphs, and then every now and then if I don't need Hex, which I'm pretty sure in most matches I do use Hex or Shamanistic Rage, either one of the two. But Healing Stream is actually nice too, where you take 10% reduced damage from Fire, Frost, or Nature. So Healing Stream is also a good option, especially when you have Healing Stream with rushing streams. That's going to stack up pretty well. And another glyph that I like to use is Thunder, which reduces the cooldown on your Thunderstorm by 10 seconds. A lot of people saying like Thunder is already a low cooldown, but against vertical axis maps, Thunder is gonna. You're gonna notice a difference of having that extra 5 seconds reduced. It's gonna be pretty amazing. So Glyph of Thunder, Hex, Cap Totem, and Healing Stream, and then also the last one that I would recommend is the Glyph of Ghost Wolf, which just allows you are less hindered by effects that would reduce movement speed. So that's pretty self-explanatory. You just can't be slowed as much while in Ghost Wolf form, which is really huge against some comps, especially if you're trying to LOS and stuff like that. So those are the glyphs that you can choose for Elemental. My baseline glyphs normally are going to be like Lightning Shield, Cap Totem, and Hex or Shaman Rage. Those are like my core glyphs. Almost never use Ghost Wolf or Healing Stream, but those are good options if you want to try them out. And then now for the minor glyphs, this is the PTR. Okay, wow, on this Shaman I don't have whatever. The live servers are down right now, so I'm on the PTR. That's why I have the rooster. Okay, so for the minor glyphs with Tempic Encirclement, when you put down one totem, it puts down 4 instead. I love this glyph. It just makes it harder for anyone to kill your totems. So really nice glyph right there. And then Glyph of Lake Strider, with this, this basically just puts up water walking every time you Ghost Wolf. So it's not a big thing in arena matches, but it's just something nice to have. I personally like it. And that's pretty much it for like things that I'll like. Well, this is basically the only thing that helps you out with arenas is Totemic Encirclement. So the other glyphs are just cosmetic, which I might make another later video on what they all look like, because they're actually really cool. Some really cool glyphs in there. So that's pretty much it for talents and glyphs. Alright, so now for the macro section. Now there aren't that many macros that you need as Elemental, but the few that are there are, first one is Focus Symbiosis, which is going to be basically slash stop casting and then slash cast at focus Solar Beam. So you're just going to have slash cast in brackets at focus Solar Beam. Basically what this does, because you're going to be playing with a lot of druids as an Elemental Shaman most of the times, or you will be playing with a druid at some point. And this is just really nice to have the Focus Solar Beam, because you have the regular Solar Beam for Symbio. So you can put Symbiosis or Solar Beam in them. Either one works, but I highly recommend using that macro. And then you have your one shot as Elemental, which is slash cast Ascendance. Use your unused Trinket if you use one. And then cast Stormblast Totem and cast Elemental Mastery. Now, even if you don't have these abilities, you can still put them in there. So let's say, because I don't use Elemental Mastery almost ever, but I keep it in there just in case for some reason I do swap into it. I don't have to like keep buying my Elemental Mastery or anything like that, because I know I'm only going to be using it with Ascendance anyways. So this is just really nice to actually have that in there. You can replace Stormblast Totem with Fire Elemental Totem, but I like to use Fire Lily all the time. Like I use it pretty early in the match most of the times to get out early pressure. And then I have my Cleanse macros. Basically what this does is just cleanses your partner. It's slash cast at your partner's name, cleanse spirit. And then I have my focus hex macro, which is /cast at focus hex. Now I have add show tooltip on the top here. Basically what this does is adds a tooltip. So let's say I go over here, it actually shows hex on there, like what hex actually does and the cooldown on it and stuff like that, the tooltip. Because like on my ascendance, I don't have add show, like my one shot macro, I don't have add show tooltip. So it has the ascendance little, oh my god, I forgot, okay, little ascendant sign on it. Sorry about that, zoned out. It has the ascendant sign on it, but it doesn't have the tooltip on the right side, right corner. So that's basically what the show tooltip is for. So you can put that in front of any add-on or macro, and it will show you the tooltip. Now I have the focus wind shear macro, which is /stop casting, and then enter /cast add focus wind shear. You're gonna need stop casting in front of your wind shear macro, especially as elemental, because you're almost always gonna be casting, and you don't want to wait until you're done with your cast or wind shear someone. You want to wind shear someone at that exact moment. So it's a really nice way. You definitely need stop casting in your wind shear macro, and you want to focus wind shear macro too. And the other macro I have is just /stop casting wind shear. So even your regular wind shear, you want to have stop casting in there. It's going to be highly important. So same thing goes for grounding totem. You want to put /stop casting on your grounding totem. So it's just /stop casting enter /cast grounding totem. And then I have the same thing for the way I do for my cleanse for my partners. I have my heals for my partners, which is actually healing surge. So I have /cast at whatever partner name it is, and then healing surge. And the same thing for the other partner. And you can do this for as many people as you want. I'm pretty sure you can add more people to this too, but this is just the way I like to do it. And then I have my call it a super heal. This is just if you're a Draenei, you can put /cast Gift of Naru, which is your racial, and then /use Healthstone. So it's just a nice way to. This is like my heal when I don't have, like if I'm silenced or something, or in general if I need it on myself. I mean, you can put anything else in here, just Healthstone by itself. It doesn't matter. The next thing we have is /cast stop casting and tremor totem. So you need same thing as goes for stop casting as everything else. You want it for tremor totem also. And then this was the old tremor totem macro where you had the totem frame one right button thingy in there. You don't need this totem. I would recommend you take this tremor totem macro away, because the totemic restoration talent is no longer there. So this is pointless. So you don't want to accidentally use this. You don't want to accidentally use this ability and then press it again and take away your tremor totem too early. So there's no point in actually like removing your tremor totem, so just let it sit there for 6 seconds now. So that's pretty much it for my macros for elemental specifically. But the 3 macros, or technically 6 macros, that I recommend everyone be using is going to be /target Arena 1, Arena 2, and Arena 3. I talk about this in every single macro video I make, is because I feel like this is extremely important, and especially for new players. If you're starting off, like, I would highly recommend you try to get used to this early on. It's gonna change the way you completely play. Like, not having to click your target frames or tap target is so huge. So I highly recommend using these 3 macros if you can. Some people like to add Arena 4 and 5 in there if they do a lot of 5s and stuff like that. I personally don't. I don't have the keybinds for it. I could probably make keybinds for it, but I don't feel the need to actually go that far. So I'm not gonna be doing 5s, and if I do 5s, it's just gonna be for fun. I'm just gonna click on the little 4 and 5. So that's pretty much it. And then I have /focus Arena 1, 2, and 3 to set my Arena 1 to 3 as focus. So those are basically my macros for elemental. Okay, so now for the add-ons that I use as elemental. The first add-on that I use is going to be add-on control panel. This is basically what you see right now, where you can change add-ons. Like, you can remove or turn on, turn off add-ons while actually playing WoW, like inside logged in. So this is something really nice. I don't have to log out and to do stuff and check what's on, what's not. And then after that, I use battleground targets. This is a really good add-on if you're going to be doing a lot of PGs, especially RBGs. So I highly recommend it. It's just a basically target whatever you want to target. And then deadly boss mods. This is just good for, I basically use this for RBGs to, like, especially like Arati Basin or something, where if someone takes a flag node, then you know like exactly what time you're gonna get the flag node, and if someone has like 3 bases, like if that's gonna be enough to win or not. So that's basically what I use deadly boss mods for. And then Gladiator Losa. This is a pretty cool add-on. I mostly don't. I have this turned off a lot of times inside my arena matches, and sometimes I have it turned on, but I don't even hear it because I keep my game sound kind of low. But it is a really good add-on that I used to use, and I mean I still like using it sometimes every now and then. What it basically does is that it increases your awareness, because it call like every time someone's casting a hex or poly or just any kind of CC, or they pop big cooldowns or something, it would basically call it out for you. So it's a pretty cool add-on just to increase your awareness. I would if you're new to PvP, I highly recommend trying to use this add-on. It'll help you out a lot, trust me. And then I have Gladius. Basically what this does is just gives you that extra huge arena frame on the right side, which replaces your default arena frame. And the only good part about this is that it's a lot bigger, so it's a lot more visible. And then after that, it shows like your trinket, like who has trinkets or not, the DRs on your CCs and whatnot, the cooldowns popped and stuff. So it's a really cool add-on. I like this a lot. And then I recently got Hadouken. I actually haven't got a chance to test this out, but so far from what I heard from my friends, they really like this add-on. It just adds Street Fighter sounds to whatever spells you have. So I can't recommend it yet. I don't know. I haven't tested it out, but you might want to check it out if you want to. I do use grid every now and then especially if I'm doing RBGs, because I don't like the default raid frames. So what grid does is just add special raid frames. Just to your UI. That's basically, it's just a UI raid frame. It says compact grid for party raid unit frames. That's basically what it is. And then I have Healbot, which a lot of people always discuss about, like that's a really newbie thing to use and stuff. And I understand that it could be, but I use this just to watch for who's currently hex at the moment, and that's all I use it for. I do have it set up so that it dispels and heals. So let's say if I'm in an BG or something, and I'm not gonna macro in like everyone, so I just use this to cleanse or dispel and stuff like that. It's much easier than actually targeting someone and then pressing the dispel button. You just go there and it's like a mouse over macro kind of. So I use that for that, and then for arena matches, I mainly use this to see if someone's hex, because my eyes go to this a lot faster than they go to the actual arena frames. So this just helps me dispel hex a lot faster. That's what I use Healbot for mainly. And then I use Juked, which is the same thing as Interrupt Bar, almost the same thing. It just adds, like, when someone uses their silence or let's say Mind Freeze kicks or whatever, it basically shows you a cooldown on exactly how much time is left, and so you can just kind of free cast for that duration, or you know when to juke and stuff. So it's a really cool add-on. I would highly recommend it. And then Lose Control is basically, it displays the duration of CC effects on your character. So every now and then you might have noticed, like, I'll have like someone shown hexed over here, or like I'm in a big fear or stun with her, and show it up in a big square box. That's Lose Control. So I really recommend this add-on. I love it. Then Move Anything MOP basically lets you move anything on your screen. It's just to move your UI around. And then Omni CC is, what it does is it adds a cooldown timer to all your abilities. So like let's say Healing Stream has 30 seconds left, my Gift of Naru 3 minutes, Cap Totem 45 seconds, Earth Grab, just all my abilities. It just shows you that number on it, so you don't have to guess exactly how many seconds are left, which I really like a lot. Outfitter, you don't need this add-on anymore. Blizz has their own equipment manager. I honestly don't use this anymore, but it's basically like an equipment manager if you want to use it. And I don't use plate buffs as on any of my tunes, but it is a really cool add-on. It shows buffs on top of your nameplates, so it's really cool if you actually use tidy plates and stuff, but I don't use that either, so you can try it out. And then I used and Postal, which is just a mail add-on, and like enhanced mailbox support. Pratt is just my add-on for my chat frame right here, which allows me to copy and paste stuff and show exactly when someone posted something or something. So it's just nice for that. And then Recount, it records damage and healing for, well, everything. So it just this stuff right here, and I always like seeing the exact little details on how my number, so I can like crunch numbers and stuff like that. So I like recount a lot. And then save queue just takes away the leave queue button from your arenas or battlegrounds, just so you don't accidentally leave them. And then Shaman Friend, I love this add-on. This is just amazing. A lot of times I think I've got a question like, how do you know what you purged? Like, it comes on your screen what I purged or what I ground or how much damage my overloads did or something like that. That's Shaman Friend. So it will tell you like anything you do as a shaman, like whatever happens, it'll call it out for you. So, and you can add a lot. You can set it up to make it do a lot more things. So I highly recommend using Shaman's Friend. I love this add-on. Whoever made it, props to them. It's probably Ace 3. And then still don't know what spell editor does. I use it. It's supposed to track your spells, but I mean, I don't really need it to track my spells. But I have it on and it's been there forever. So, yeah. Tell Me When is a really cool add-on. I don't use it on my shaman, but I use it on some of my other classes like my warrior or something, where I need to track certain things that are happening. So it basically what it does is adds 4 little bars, or four big action bars, where you can just display your buffs or procs or whatever you want. So if you have like a trinket proc that you have a hard time watching up here or something, you can put it in the middle of your screen and make it big. So you know you have your trinket procs, and now you can do whatever you want to do, stuff like that. And then, as I mentioned before, tidy plates. It basically it says enjoy long walks on Darkshore. What this basically does is that it makes your nameplates really cool. So, if you like the way it looks, which a lot of people do, then go for it. But I like the default way the Blizz has the nameplates, so I just use the default UI nameplates. I'm pretty sure if you set up tidy plates and customize it, it actually can be amazing. So I would recommend you try that out. I don't use this on live weak auras, so I can't recommend it to you. But on Messenger, it's like if you ever whisper someone, let's say I want to whisper this person. See how this box came up? I can just type whatever and I'll have like a whole log of it, and like everyone that want to whisper, they just come in and I can like gather 2 people over and stuff like that. So Monster Messenger is really cool. And then Xpearl is basically what my UI is, where a lot of people ask me like, you have 3D characters on your frames, and then I have like my health bars or my health mana and the percentages and big buffs and debuffs showing at all times. That's Xpearl. I love this add-on. I use it for myself, my target, and my focus. I don't use it for my party frames. It's mainly because I actually like the Blizzard default UI for raid frames for arenas. It's actually pretty, I think it's a much better than what Xpearl provides. So I use that. So that's basically what I use it for. So Xpearl, highly recommend that. I love that add-on. And that's pretty much it for add-ons.